saying we've been made aware that you're going to an office, it's a chiropractor's office. The letter also in some cases says, we've been made aware you're seeing a nurse practitioner. And what the letter goes on to say is that if you do this, we're not going to honor your CA-17s or your CA-7s. So she's saying you're not going to get your time off and you're not going to get paid. I'm summarizing it. Obviously, those words aren't in there. Okay, it's a little more confusing when you read it. But she's saying because it's a chiropractor's office, you can't go there because all they do is adjustments right of the spine. So I have a letter that I've written. Our lawyers looked over it. I'm going to be giving it to her. I'd like to give it to you as well, so everyone has it. And actually, I'd like everyone to have it. But what we've done is we've taken everything she's trying to do to you and shown her where in the law she's violating the law. Because to put it simply, what she's doing is violating all the laws. Okay, starting with your right of choice. And so one of the big reasons why there's so few accepted OWCP claims, especially in the Postal Service, is you can't find doctors that are willing to do this. You know, most doctors run away from it. And so, you know, we've got doctors that have run to it, and they're doing the job to get claims accepted. And so now that claims are getting accepted, they're trying to keep you from going to the doctor. Okay, and that's not okay. So just so you know, if you go to that doctor, and I'm not telling you to, the choice of doctor is yours. Okay, the law says you can choose whatever doctor you want. But if you find yourself in a chiropractor's office seeing a medical doctor, that's fine. Okay, the deal is a medical doctor has to sign off on all the work, and that's what's happening. If you find yourself seeing a nurse practitioner, that's fine because a medical doctor can countersign a nurse practitioner's reports. Okay. And if you end up in a situation where you get a letter from Miss Maddox and she tells you can't go there anymore, or we're not gonna let you get paid for your time off. Okay, you probably want to report that and file grievances because it's completely wrong. It's not fair. To me, it's dirty, and it's happening. And so people are scared to now report their injuries because you can go someplace else if you want, but you know, where was everyone going before I met you all? You couldn't think of a doctor, right? There wasn't one in the whole state. So you can go someplace else, but that's bad for you. And that's why we're doing this. We're trying to, just help. And so I have a couple of laws I just want to talk about. This will be short and sweet. I'm going to leave this with you afterwards so you can have it as well. There's a manual called a CA 810. It's an injury compensation for federal employees. If you're a federal employee. Okay. In the manual, section 6.3 says you're entitled to your choice of physician. But it goes further, okay, and this is the first thing that she's doing wrong. It says agency personnel may not interfere with the employee's right to choose a physician. That's pretty clear. Okay, so number one, telling you can't go to a doctor is violating this law. All right, the second part of that says nor may they require you to go to a physician who's employed by or under contract with the agency. So they can't tell you what doctor to go to. They can't require you to go to another doctor before you choose your own doctor. Okay, that's in the law. And then there are penalties for doing what she's doing. Pretty harsh penalties. Okay, if any person responsible for getting an OWCP claim filed, but prevents you from filing it, can go to jail. And that's in the Code of Federal Regulations, and I've got that here. So anytime somebody prevents you from going to a doctor, or prevents you from filing a claim, like threatening your job, or saying, if you go do this, you're not going to get paid. If you go do this, we're going to change your shift to some really bad hours. Or, those types of threats will prevent you from doing what you need to do. That's illegal. All right, so we had to put a stop to it. This is why I love so much working with the unions, because there's no power outside the union. Who's gonna fight for you? And so that's why we do this. I'm going to be sending that letter out. I'll get you a copy of it. But I hope we won't be scared to file claims, because we'll be right back where we were in the beginning. Okay. So last year, 2018, only 1 out of 7 postal employees had an accepted claim. Does that sound good or bad? It's terrible. It's terrible. And so one of the reasons why they're trying to keep you from coming to the doctor that we train is because 7 out of 7 people that go there get an accepted claim. All right? It's everybody. And even if there's a denial, we don't run away from it. We say, okay, let's fix it. Where other doctors say, well, it's denied, nothing we can do about it. Well, it was denied because they did a bad job. And so if management wants you to go to a doctor who will do a bad job, you will continue to get your claims denied. We want to really stop that. So we're going to be here to answer your questions. That was the main thing I wanted to talk about. And I just don't want to see you get pushed around anymore, and this is happening. But I think we can fix it here. I'm communicating this to the other unions as well, so everyone's got it. And everyone should start pushing back on this.
Okay, I got permission to talk about this. The individual, well, one of them, who it happened to was Consuelo Wise. They sent the letter back that Chris is talking about. Now, the interesting thing about it is that they sent her letter on the 18th of January. On the 10th of January, she got an OWCP acceptance letter.
How about that?
So what we did as a union was under Article 13, it's on Article 13, page 5, paragraph 1 of the contract interpretation manual. And it clearly states that for any discrepancies or disagreements concerning between you, OWCP, and the agency, the decision of OWCP is final. In this situation, given the fact that OWCP had already ruled and approved and accepted her claim, we went to the labor board and filed a grievance because the sending of that letter is malicious. Because they told her that she couldn't go to the doctor and she had 7 days to get another doctor. If she goes and get another doctor without OWCP approval, it's gonna sabotage her claim. So at that point, I'm scheduled to go get an affidavit on that issue on next week. And people in labor don't know what to do with grievance because now their hands are tied because it's becoming a legal matter. So.
It is a legal matter, that's right.
You know, it is a pushback, not that anything, you know, because Consuelo actually talked to Linda Maddox on the phone, and she asked her personally, did she know that she had an approval letter? She said, yeah. She said, what should I do? She said, follow the decision of the Department of Labor. And then she asked her, why did she send me that letter? Why did you send me this letter? She said, I'm just doing what my manager told me to do.
I heard that too. Another lady named Belinda, I think.
No, that's Kathy Martin.
Oh,
it's Kathy Martin. So, we with you.
So, and just one more thing on this, I didn't want to forget. One of the letters I saw also said that they're not taking CA-17s from a chiropractor. I agree. We should never take a CA-17 from a chiropractor. They can't sign them anyways. So when you get one from the office, it's coming from an MD, right? As that's the rule. All right. So just don't be scared by this. The rules are being followed. In fact, an approval letter means that somebody follows the rules somewhere, right? DOL is really good at denying stuff. So when they're approving it, you know that they're following the rules. So hopefully we can push back on this. And this is a long loss, this one.
And Chris, this is my new grandfather from Montgomery too, so if y'all decide to come to Montgomery.
Yeah, so we are. In fact, I keep
so
getting told it'll be next week, next week. I think it's next week.
He'll be 23rd. 23rd, February. So,
all right.
Yeah.